Ciao and welcome to the sixth episode of FC Talk, the podcast about artistic nude photography of Francesco Coppola. Is me, your host, that is hosted on fcphotography.com, my site, and after this it will be shared to my YouTube channel and other platforms. In this sixth episode, as always, I will give you first a little update on successful things that happened. This is the May episode. Something happened positive, luckily. And I'm referring to the selection that I had from the jury of the Nudus 2025 exhibition. And after some delay, finally went public the 175 issue of Over magazine, a photography only magazine based in Los Angeles, USA, that selected my work, if I correctly remember, on last beginning of March, if not the end of February, and it only last week went public. This is the first argument. The second will be the real situation of the day-to-day life I have to conduct with the pressure of expenses and even on psychological pressure from my environment. The third part is the core of this effort I'm doing. That is the unseen part of an artistic growth. So all the things you don't get from my Instagram account, you don't get on my blog, on my site, you don't get even on my mailing list. But let's go with order, with further ado. The first argument. So I'm really happy to say to you that the third annual juried exhibition, publication and sales art opportunity organized by Galerium called Nudus 2025 has happened. They chose one of 5 images I have, at least for what I've seen. It has to be seen if there is a problem with the site of Galerium and they are all being selected or only one. We shall see. Even only one is important in the artistic world. The single image is important as well as a series. And obviously at this stage I'm at the beginning of what I'm doing on my creativity path. For now I've done mostly exercises, experiments, so the important is to be selected, and this is very important thing consider even that this will bring me the status of exposed photographer, not only published on photography magazines, but even a photographer exposed in an artistic exposure venue. This it allowed me to put a price on the image of the of the images. The organization will promote my work too, and obviously is an event, a chance to receive traffic, web traffic to my site from abroad, above all from USA. That would be very interesting and very positive. The other good thing, one moment, returning to Nudus. Nudus will start its event. I don't know well when. It should be this summer, maybe after the first half of June to July. I have to check, but that if you follow me on Instagram on my mailing list, when it will go live, obviously I will tell you. Said, the other good thing is that finally, after a month of delay in Los Angeles, that we know they had some issue with fires, they succeeded in to publish their number 175 of their magazine, and there are 4 photos I've taken of model Fabiola Pietrasanta. It was a first creative experiment that I've done using a projector used to project naturalistic images, flower images on the naked body of the model. These two give a meaning that I strongly believe in, as woman is beauty, is nature, is art, is life. This said, let's go to the second part. That is the reveal of my grittier part of my effort. I'm registering this episode like all the others before, and many of the one that will follow in the future, from my room in my mother's house here in a town next Milano City, Italy. That is a situation for a 50 years old man that in June will be 51. Consider that I have expenses that are not low, because every model shoot, until now at least, happened with me that I had to pay the model's cachet and the place rent for the hours of the model shoot. That is a weight that for now, considering that even this my second sale campaign of artistic print of my nude art, for what I know they didn't sell anything, is a weight. After this, consider that by the fact that I am officially authorized by the Italian government to sell those prints and to earn money from this artistic activity, because I have a VAT code, in Italian a partita IVA. This means that I have some compulsory payment to do, that is paying for the retirement fund of the artisans and shoppers of Italy. The first part of the annual payment has to happen on this month, being completely transparent. I tell you, now I have on my bank account a little more than 3,000 euros. After the payment, that is not the only thing that I have to pay, obviously. I have all the car expenses on me, I have all the communications expenses of me, obviously. I use the Adobe Photographers license that has to pay monthly. So, but after this, on top of this, I have to pay, I don't know yet how much, because it's very personal. The calculation is made personal, but can do an estimate. At the end of this month, if I don't receive any payment from my activity, my bank account will become not so little, but something more than 2,000. This has consequences, obviously, even for my schedule in model shoots, in things to do. Let's don't talk about the fact that I don't do any vacation, any trip, any visit since, I don't know, many years. I think more than 10 years. I have erased from my horizons the things called holidays. Obviously, be a poor man. But this has a consequence that I have to limit the model shoots that I do on one per month, or at least one that I'll do at the end of this month. For the very first time, this is a success, another success. The model accepted to model for me in the formula of time per photo. So I will not have to pay her. The place, yes, the place I have to pay for the place. This is good because I can do another not previewed before, model shoot, luckily. Over this, consider the passive weight of this situation. Because I have the age, I have already told you, I don't want to repeat it. It was not foreseen for me to be in this situation. I am one of the many Italian disastered, I don't know if it is a correct term, the Italian whose life went off rail. Even in the palace where I do live, because we live in a flat in a series of 5 buildings, there are a lot of old people, 60, 70, 80 years old or more, but there are even some mature like me, men around my age, alone with the mother like me, alone with the father, or alone completely, because our society, you all well know, brings a lot of isolation if you don't have a good job. a good, continuous, well-paid job. What can I say? I love women. I would hope to have another situation with a woman. I think I have a lot to give in terms of attention, respect, collaboration. Consider her my equal. Passion, I have some passion left. Experience. But obviously living with your mother without a job of any kind, it leaves you outside any circle, outside any chance. And this is the passive pressure. Then at least you have to add the active pressure from my family. Because I have brothers, one of them, more than the others, is pressuring my 89 years old mother that already by herself is fully capable of getting a bit depressed, a bit anxious, a bit sad about my situation. Continue to ask what I'm doing with this artistic situation. Even if I said, hey, I have a publication from England, from France, from USA. I've been selected by the jury in an exhibition. I will be an exhibited photographer. Yes, but do they pay? This is the situation. A situation for which some week ago always pushed from this brother that could be easier himself, started to push me doing the discourse of what you will do without me if I close my eyes, what it will be of you, considering that my family, that is part of the struggle of my life. I come from a family of state workers. My father was a military man. He has been a colonel for the Italian infantry. My mother was a social worker, not social worker, it has a different meaning. A worker for the national health system, that, and for her the duties was on the social front. And these two means that they not only work for the state, that is another, I call it another type of school. You go to school and then to university, you have your 9 to 5, 9 a.m., 5 p.m. cycle of activity, first in a school room, then in an office room. You never grow from there. One of my brother, the only that is working, is a teacher, so another of the public school, so another public worker. The brother that is causing this distress here has been a journalist. Then he changed his life trying to be toys for intelligent children seller. Failed. At the moment he's married, he lives with his wife. He has his wife money that support him, and even he is the only one in the family and in all the people we know. He's the only one that had some knowledge on how a business works. by this pressure, they started from last week or maybe 2 weeks ago to try to see if I can push out from my artistic business effort, so that I can start to do a candidation to another public loser work. I have to specify, I have all the respect of the statal workers. My strong belief is that we need to have a national public health instruction system. To me, for the man I am now, it would be a failure to return to school, let's say, in some public office. And this is the second part that connects with the rest, that is the core. It is about the unseen part of my artistic growth. Consider that for unseen, what I mean? I mean things that you don't see on Instagram, things that you don't see on my blog, things that you don't see even, or you don't read, it would be more correct, on my mailing list. Because all the social, all the communication on my blog and on my mailing list are after the fact situations. If I don't image in my mind, if I don't do the networking work to contact or to receive a request from a model, because I am requested to from models to be shot by me, but I have to look for the place that I have to pay to do these model shoots, and then the shooting happens. There I have all the tools, cheap, involving mostly a skill that is not digital, is not mathematical, is a game of wrist, is an ability, a mastery of the wrist that is making me capable of do these artistic images that are so effective after all, and not foreseen. This attempt on me is successful until now, because being selected in international magazines, being selected in an international exhibition, art exhibition that is not only for photography, but involves all the type of creativity, of visual creativity, is a thing that say I have skill, basically, but I have a vision too. What I've said in the last episode of my podcast, it is the right time of abandon ship, a more structured course or event when you work to finish a portfolio, and then is foreseen after that that you present it to the model agencies, those 5-6 only important model agencies that work internationally here in Milan, and then start doing the apprenticeship that can last months, if not years, during the attack to the photography, and not only the photography, not only to the photographer jobs that artificial intelligence is posing. This is the right time to go even stronger with authenticity, with the strange and more abstract, less definite images, because artificial intelligence will knock out all the will knock out, because it will be easier for the artificial intelligence to copy the more defined, the more clear and the more normal images that usually are requested more in the photography and the commercial photography sector. If you look to authenticity, if you look to be authentic and to express a vision that you have, this is the moment to deviate from there and start an artistic career. So I received proof until now of my skill, of my vision, having only 4 international publication is not enough. I've read that a photographer to be recognized seriously as a artistic photographer should have more than 10 to 15 publications. So I have some work to do yet, and the work that I do that is not tracked in the after the fact platforms is editing, is networking, is planning how to sustain myself with the few money I receive, or I don't receive at all, and choose, for instance, during the first sale campaign I did the experiment of using the Instagram advertisement to attract directly from my account people and push them to my atelier page, hoping that someone will buy, and I can spend a bit of money too for that. That didn't had any effect, but at the time I had less than 800, around 800 followers. Now I'm near 1000. So, in the second, I've learned my lesson, and I using with less money, a smaller budget, the advertisement tool of Instagram to make my account grow. Then, obviously, if you consider the over magazine issue delay, yourself can understand that sometimes things are out of your control. I've been selected months ago, but the magazines had issues to go out, and only on May they published their issue with my work song. So consider that even the selection for Nudus 2025 will take some week to start this exhibition and see what effect has on my account of making some sell, maybe, hopefully, obviously, because I remember I have week by week the call from those brothers that should be more silent in these things. Sorry, the Italian surfaced. That he's asking week by week. Then, did he sell? How he sell? Why don't you consider focus on yourself for a moment? Dear brother, my mother started to make the attempt to pressure me to go out from this business before I started the second sale campaign. Is it normal? For a business point of view, does a business close after 2 months? So, I have this situation that, as you can tell, as you hear me, is give me even a bit of nervousness. Sooner or later I'll have to speak directly to my brother and making him a little business course, a real speed business course, because I don't know, he had those years trying to sell toys made of wood for intelligent kids that he failed to do, but it took some years before he closed. I'd like to have at least 1 year to see where we end here. This situation, as you see, consider another thing. It surfaced me really now. My health situation is I am not derelict, we can say. I look younger than I am usually, but for instance, I have high blood pressure. I have to take medicines every day for my blood pressure. And this situation have a weight even for this. So what can a man that is engaged in this situation you are seeing, that has no other work, no other job, because obviously you have to consider the legal implication. It's not forbidden to someone that has a partita IVA to go and do another work. For instance, I could try to return to work in some warehouse where I have worked for quite a year, working here. But the fiscal drain that I would receive would be very punitive. So I don't know. I would like to return to do some work like the warehouse picker job. I'd like to do it. It would be my gym. When I did it, I consider it my gym, my paid gym. But there is this situation, and I am not left serene, occupying of this of my situation. I have a constant pressure. So I did what I could. I decided to go faster in my programs, because my business, the one I did during the course, the public course that I took last autumn, that made me do a business plan. The business plan, for all of you that are businessmen, has stages. I decided to don't consider the next stage, don't wait for the next stage. And towards the end of this month, I have took a date that will be there will be another at the beginning of June, studying the practical feasibility of starting a Patreon account. With a Patreon account, you could get my work if you subscribe, obviously. It's a way to know better the really day-to-day effort, how I do obtain my ideas. I have my luggage of techniques or experience. On Patreon, these are things that I can share. If some of you would like to help a creative man that has a vision, that until now has obtained a confirmation, unpaid confirmation of my capabilities, and want to help me with a little effort on money, I will study the ranks, prizes, and what to give, and that would be my online family, a more supportive, understanding family, one that I never had, one that understands who I am, what I want, what is the effort and fatigue that I'm doing, and that allows me maybe to do more model shoot per month. I can maybe upgrade my editing computer, maybe in the long run, obviously. No, not in the long, in the medium, if it depends on how many views there are. And that would be other things. I plan to do videos on my YouTube channel. At this moment, the only thing that I have that can make videos is my iPhone 13 mini. It's not a great tool, but I could do it if I want something more, or I sell my images. I succeed in selling my images, but for now we know I am at the beginning of a successful growth in the artistic field from 4 international publications, 1 juried exhibition selection, to the 12, 15 ones that I have to obtain. Maybe I will not get too many sales. A Patreon account would be the savior. If not, I don't know how much I can resist to the pressure after next Christmas holidays. So it's a lot. I've talked much, but I think that is a good episode. I thank you for arriving here. If you succeed, you're a rock. I appreciate it, and I leave you here. Stay safe, stay creative. Per aspera ad astra.